We didn't see you there. Hello, everyone.
That's where that noise is made on stream.
Hello there.
Hello there.
General
General
Old Ben.
I think, Enzo, were you going for a Professor Oak? Is that what I heard? Enzo, where you going for it? Oh.
Which is kind of.
I'm getting up the stream so that I can share.
Are you a boy or a girl?
Are you a boy? What is your favorite color?
Potion seller. I'm going to Badlands.
Oh god, anything but the potion seller joke. Alright, so, I guess we should explain why we're here. I don't know if anybody's watching that.
That might be a good idea. Who knows?
Not sit here and goof off on stream, though. So, we're gonna get down to playing some, part 2 of session 1 of our Call of Cthulhu campaign here, in just a few minutes. If you didn't see part 1 of that, we're gonna roll a recap video, once a few more people are on stream here, and we'll discuss some more recap specifics after that as well, and then we'll jump right into it.
Yeah.
So, I guess for anyone who doesn't know, Call of Cthulhu is a tabletop role-playing game. It's sort of like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's more like detective play sort of focused. It's a little bit noir-y. And for this campaign, we're set in the 1920s. And it's also going to involve elements of the H.P. Lovecraft mythos. So this will be a spooky game. Yeah, no, Cthulhu will not be in this game.
We haven't told Cthulhu was purposefully left out.
Everything about Cthulhu has been ruined because the point of Lovecraftian horror is like the mystique, and if I can go buy a plushie of an elder god, it's not that scary.
Yeah. The whole point is that you're not supposed to be able to know what Cthulhu looks like because anyone who looks like Cthulhu goes mad.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, really? I know that. I bought a giant like tome of all of H.P. Lovecraft's work, and I have not touched it.
You should read it. It's very good.
Yeah, I meant to, but I have yet to. So. Oh boy.
Right, None of that matters because this is a brand new story.
Exactly.
Starring
this is an original
wonderful creeper. Keeper.
Oh, boy.
Restart the stream, guys.
Let's restart the stream.
What is it? Keeper of Arcane Lore?
Yes.
I am the Keeper of Arcane Lore. That's right. And you guys are investigators in the lingo of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Should we give a quick character recap?
I think that is in the video.
That is in the pre-roll video.
Okay.
Which will pre-roll when we are ready.
Pre-roll video? That's
we
pretty
do,
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow,
we're really moving up in the world. We're like somewhere.
It's got LA noir music in the background.
Oh wow!
Oh, awesome!
So,
LA noir.
Let's get copyright striked immediately.
LA noir.
Noir.
LA where?
Noir.
LA where? All right. So I don't know when we want to roll that. Or should we just go ahead and roll it?
Sure,
see what happens. All right. So I'm gonna mute the desktop audio and like microphone audio, and then play the video.
Oh, I want to watch it. I haven't seen
All right, guys. We will see you all in just a few minutes. Hope you enjoy the recap. Let us know if there's anything more you want to know. All right. Thank you, guys.
I received a letter that reads as follows. Investigators, you will find yourselves to be one of 5 people receiving a letter such as this. Your background and qualifications are diverse, but you share amongst you a particular skill for uncovering that which you would prefer to remain hidden. For the purpose of introducing you to myself and each other, I invite you to join me at the British Museum on the evening of December 17th. I assure you that I can make it worth your while. Remember to come properly attired. Yours sincerely, an interested observer. My name is Murphy Eagley.
Hello, everyone. My name is James Masterson.
Hello. My name is Elizabeth Murphy.
Hi, my name's Mark Chase.
My name is Rhiannon Byrne.
And as each of you is going through the main entrance of this building, it opens into a sort of like a grand marble hall with a big spiral staircase in the center of that. And around the hall, milling about are people at the hall, seems pretty full, dressed in Roman garb. It is December 17th, and tonight is the first night of the Festival of Saturnalia. You can see a man who is tall enough to stick out of the crowd approaching you, but he carries himself very upright, and he says, "Samuel Langley, Esquire, pleased to meet you. I'm glad to see that you all made it here all right. Now, to put it very simply, a possession of mine was stolen from my home very recently. I held a party at my home here in London about a week ago. I have reason to believe that the person who took this book from is here at this party. I trust each and every one of you for varying reasons. My utmost priority is discretion. Want to also make it clear that I do not want you to recover this book. I only want you to find out which person took it. This book is something that I would prefer you don't put yourself in contact. And then report back to me at the end of the night what you found. As you guys sort of like look around this room and take in what your task is about to be, you can identify 5 people. The first is a young woman. The second is a man that you see sort of in a corner. He doesn't appear to be very happy to be at this party. And he does appear to be sort of avoiding conversation. The third is a tall man with oily dark hair. A second woman who is sort of speaking to a crowd. She seems like she has a lot of people gathering around her, and she doesn't seem completely comfortable getting this sort of attention, but she doesn't seem to be able to avoid it either. And the last 2 are the most easily identifiable. There's a man with 1 leg who is walking on some like makeshift wooden crutches and holding a sort of leather messenger bag. And there is a man who is dressed also in a way that sort of sticks out, but in a completely different way. This man is wearing a more colorful garment with like more layers to it. It's still clearly not like a modern garment, but it's like more flowy, there's more layers involved, and it's these like bright red, yellow, orange colors. And he's also wearing a conical leather cap that just sort of, it reminds you of a dunce cap, sort of. It's that sort of hat, but it's made of just like brown leather. It's very plucky. So these are the people who are potentially your suspects.
I will approach the attractive woman.
I don't like the looks of that man in the corner.
With the colorful garments.
Right, so Enzo, you're approaching the woman who looks like she's drawing a bit of a crowd.
I'm seeing the one-legged dude.
The one-legged dude. So that's the game.
Yep, we are now that I unmuted the mics. Cool.
Okay, amazing.
Hello.
So I don't know. I have not watched this video. Dylan made this video without mine.
Oh, were you not watching it while it was on?
I had my volume muted so I could listen to you guys.
Oh.
And also read.
Yeah, no, he spliced your audio up so it made you say, "I am a poopy head."
I expect nothing less.
Don't you remember that time that you said poopy in the last stream?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't shock me that much. I feel like that might be something that would come up. Perhaps in
Samuel
one of Miss Crawford's books.
Samuel Langley was like, he stole my book, and that was very poopy.
And that's definitely the voice I did for Samuel Langley.
I like to imagine that like Dylan actually just like went through all your audio and took out a P sound, an O sound, another O sound, a P sound, and a Y sound.
He's so
It was
hard.
like,
You guys, you guys greatly overestimated the amount of effort I put into that video.
Dylan, can you splice up that clip of just Ethan saying poopy? Because that was pretty good.
Yes, I will in the future. I cannot edit live. But...
No, you can't adjust reality.
Mm-mm.
Dylan, would you like
somebody like what's that called? Highlight that in Twitch chat.
Yeah, highlight that, please. Clip it.
So,
Flip it. That's a term. Flipping it.
so Dylan, would you like to cover what wasn't covered in the video in terms of recap? Because I don't really know exactly what we need to do.
Yeah, sure. I will do that if someone can try to contact our friend Lorenzo and see if.
Yeah,
Oh, that's an extra.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, his
I
camera's
forgot that was the
frozen.
problem.
All right. So looking at my notes, this is the wrong notepad. I actually.
Yeah, I think several of us have managed to lose the notes that we took last time.
I made mine on Google Docs. Jokes on all you guys.
I did too.
Great censoring there. I heard it coming.
Very details.
Yeah. Honestly, the only thing I have written down in my notes is one-legged guy, Garrison Clay. That is all I have written.
I had like extensive notes. I had another notepad like this, but it was blue, and it's somewhere.
We're real good at this whole.
And so just said, can you guys not hear me or see me?
No,
I hear
can't,
yours.
no.
No, we can't.
You're frozen.
Yeah. Okay. So to quickly go over what the video did not capture. So we all approached and spoke with the characters that we said we were approaching and going to speak with. I believe it was
Varying degrees of success.
yes. I believe it was the old man, the one-legged old man that we made so upset that
He was not old.
was he not old? Okay.
He's like middle-aged. He's just like missing a leg.
Sorry,
Like,
I
late
did not
20s,
talk to
early
him.
30s.
But yeah, no. We made him so upset that he did not want to speak with us anymore, and that conversation tree is done.
Well, that is specifically for the three of you who were involved in that conversation. So that is,
Guilty.
yeah, Sam
Yeah.
was there.
I believe it was
and
Sam,
so-
Ethan, and
So Murphy,
Sophie. Yeah.
Eakley, Rhiannon Byrne, and Mark Chase.
Mm-hmm. All of our videos are messed up right now because Enzo
Are they?
dropped out. Just so you know.
Oh,
What?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it should be fine. Once
Wait,
he
is he back?
rejoins.
Did you say something?
I'm just doing a few things.
Okay.
Oh, he's here. Okay.
Cool. So yeah.
I'm
So
not Rhiannon. I'm not Rhiannon
you
Buyer.
we
No,
had
Ethan is.
Yeah.
You are Murphy Eakley.
yeah. So we have attempted to steal his bag so blatantly, so many times that he is just extremely upset with us.
He thinks that you guys are just like the worst group of con men. in the universe.
yeah, exactly.
We don't know yet that that's
We
not
were having
what
a lovely conversation about pranks of the unknown. Thank you very much. Pranks of the unknown.
Abducted by an alien gone wrong.
Can you guys hear and see me now?
Yes, we
I can
can.
hear you.
You are
this is a
vertical.
fascinating-
groveling at your feet.
This is a fascinating orientation we have
sideways.
here.
You're sideways, Enzo.
So yes, that
Alright, I
is.
guess Enzo's just going to be in portrait for the rest of this.
I believe that was the most recent person we spoke to. Another one
Right.
was, it was the very popular girl,
The socialite.
Yes.
Her name is Baxter.
Anna Baxter, who Enzo Mark Chase spoke to. And
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have the wrong
No,
person. I'm talking
no.
about Lucy Crawford.
Oh, Lucy Cross.
I spoke to Lucy. We
Yeah.
still haven't
Yep.
spoken to the popular one.
No, Dylan and Sophie spoke to the popular one.
yeah. Oh
Who
yeah.
is- Who is Anna Baxter, by the way?
Mark Chase Enzo spoke to Anna Baxter, who is an author who wrote a series
Nope,
of
he spoke to- nope. He spoke to Lucy Crawford, who was an
Lucy
author.
Crawford. Sorry, name's a
I
little
think
mixed
you
up.
mean Lucy Crossword. Thank you very much.
Lucy Crossword. So that is who Enzo spoke to, and
So any of you who aren't currently writing these names down should be,
Lucy
if you don't have notes from last time.
Crossword.
Oh, no.
Enzo. Okay. She was an author who wrote a series of interesting books that we went a little too far into.
That's funny.
So, when are we starting? We'll be
Couple
starting soon.
minutes.
Yeah.
We're just finishing up recapping some stuff from last time, and then we'll be
Yep.
getting right into it.
If you missed last time, you did not miss much. Just so you know.
Yeah, not much has been accomplished so far.
Literally
Talk
nothing.
missing. Talk people.
Literally nothing.
Okay, so that is who Enzo over here spoke to. Oh, this also says that we're playing the Jackbox Party back. Sorry, my friend. We are not playing Jackbox. That is completely my fault. There we go. I just switched that. That is from our last stream.
Whoops.
That is absolutely my fault. I'm very sorry about that.
Just add a new game to Jackbox.
Damn.
I mean,
we have.
So if you would like to join us again some other time, we will be playing Jackbox.
Yeah.
We will be playing Jackbox.
Yeah.
So also please keep the language appropriate. So that is who we are. That is who Lorenzo over here spoke to. So I would like to let's see here. Sorry, I'm just gonna do a quick ban there. Thank you very much.
All right.
So
off to a good start.
yeah. So that is who Lorenzo over here spoke to. Sophie and I spoke to a socialite whose name was
This one's name was Anna Baxter.
yes, Anna Baxter. That is who we spoke to. And we found that she is a very avid collector of literature and other artifacts. And so due to that, we didn't really find too much in there, but my character, James Masterson, has a very let's say good relationship with her now.
Caught her eye. And
Yes.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Okay, so is there anyone else that we spoke to?
You haven't talked about Greeley or Augustson yet.
Okay, I do not remember those. If any of you guys would to.
No.
At least my name.
Sophie, I believe you're the one that spoke to Charles Greeley. Would you like to remind us what that conversation was like?
I think that's one that I really messed up on and like lied about, or was that the other one?
Okay, let's take a step back. So Charles Greeley is Sophie's character went and met him, excuse me, and I think told some unnecessary lies to him, and specifically inquired after this book. She learned that he is an employee of the museum. He's an antiquarian and a classicist, specializing in classical texts. And he has heard the name Idon before, but denied having heard it. That's important information. And then Sam, do you remember Mr. Augustson?
Yeah, Mr. Augustson. So he was standing over there looking kind of, well, not really standing. He was sitting at a table, kind of like avoiding the rest of the conversation. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go talk to this guy. Maybe he wants to have fun. He didn't. He worked there. And so along the way, I got a good look at his bag and could tell that there was not a book in there. There were papers or something that is just small and nothing that I personally think I need. But I also happened to insinuate along the way that I was here to steal alcohol. So I'm going to avoid Mr. Augustson for the time being.
Sounds like a good plan. God, this is a mess. All right, so let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
So where are you guys right now, do you suppose?
We
I
are
believe
still in the
Have you sort of reconvened at the end of last session and the five of you are all together?
I don't think anyone's in the middle of a conversation, and if anything just happened, the three who were talking to the veteran guy, we're together, and then I think they're somewhere else. We can easily just reconvene.
Okay, so this guy did not get up and walk away.
Yeah.
So you guys, if you would have left him if he asked you to leave, I assume.
Well, I mean, I'd be pretty hard for him to walk away. He's missing a leg.
No, we were in the middle of... We were walking somewhere, weren't we?
No, we weren't.
You were all sitting at this table having the discussion.
If I remember
and one of
correctly,
you
went to go get, you tried to steal his bag. You went to go get a drink instead. I asked him about medication, and then he told us all to screw off.
Right, yeah.
I remember him trying to steal his bag.
You were all clearly trying to figure out what was going on in his bag, and he was just like, "This is life-saving medicine. Please leave." So you're no longer talking to this man. Are the three of you still together?
All right. Well, see you around, good sir. I'm gonna go get a drink again. Walks away.
Well,
Riddance.
I think we already said our goodbyes because I had to give him Lucy Crawford's autograph because he was a big fan of hers, and then he just sort of took the autograph very.
Yeah, I believe last session ended with you three going back and reconvening. And that is how that ended.
All right, so the three of you are together.
Mm-hmm.
Are all five of you together, or is it just the three of them that are together? I don't know what the other two
just
are.
the three of
It
them.
was the three of us together, and I think the other two were you guys together?
Talking to someone else.
Because Dylan was talking with the girl who with the book girl who was hitting on him, and then then Sophie came over. And then
I
that's kind of where
don't.
it
Not
ended.
at the end of the game, I don't think. That was earlier.
Yeah, but-
Pardon to everyone. We are still trying to figure out exactly where we left.
Yeah, it's been about a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a little behind here. So let's just
jump.
let's
into
just
it.
say that you're all sort of. None of you
We've all
think
kind
you're in the
of
middle of a
reconvened in a
conversation.
small little huddle.
Yeah.
So you guys don't think you're like in a conversation, any of you, right? We can just say that you've all sort
Yeah,
of
no,
found each other
I'm
again.
very confident none of them were in a conversation.
Okay, so let's just reconvene everybody, and you guys can take stock of the situation.
Great.
So this is your opportunity to like share information with each other that you think another person might find valuable, and plan for the next move.
All right, crew. Judging by my analysis of the situation, that man over there, I gesture towards Mr. Augustin. We should probably stay away from him. I don't think he's our guy, and I don't think he likes me.
I feel like people not liking us is a bit of a common trend tonight.
Yeah, well, I guess the same goes for the soldier over there.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Professor? Find anything nice?
He's a doctor,
I am a doctor.
Yeah, no.
doctor of psychiatry.
Yes.
Do you think any of us are that well educated? I was
So
called illiterate in the last time. I said,
So I did meet this very nice young lady, and she has some secrets that I believe she is not telling me. It seems very a lot of her ideas and hobbies are quite interesting and may lead us to the location we are seeking for. So let's keep an eye on her. Her name is Anna Baxter. So
Anna Baxter.
yes, my friend Elizabeth Murphy over here was speaking as well.
And do we have a confirmation of anyone having been near our interested listener or watcher that has been to his party?
So Anna has been to his party. She has been searching around lately, looking.
You don't know that.
I do not.
You don't know that.
Oh,
You do not know that.
I believe. I thought I knew that. I am wrong. Sorry, I
That's
must
why
be
I asked.
misremembering. All she has stated was that lately she has been searching for parties to attend, as it is. She is new and she's wanting to get to know a lot of people, but that's all the lead that I know.
Okay, so she's not. She's just like she's recently widowed, and basically what she does with her time is go to parties. She's a socialite. She's inherited a lot of money that she can spend spuriously, and her life is, going to and hosting parties. So she's not new in town. Is the thing that I wanted to correct about
Okay.
what you just
All right, thank you. Sorry.
Nor is she gay and or has AIDS, to your knowledge.
We don't know that.
He's also not homeless.
1920s
Let's
was
not
a
forget that.
wild time.
Mm.
Anyway,
And she did not push.
carry on.
Okay. Yes.
Doctor, do you think she might be someone of importance?
I believe we should keep an eye on her. I don't believe she should be our top priority at the moment.
All right.
Who else do we speak with?
You have spoken with that you haven't mentioned so far. Mark Chase spoke with, or he spoke with Lucy Crawford, which you haven't talked about.
Yeah.
He spoke with her twice actually because he went back to get another autograph, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And Sophie spoke. Excuse me, Elizabeth Murphy spoke to Charles Greeley. Charles was his name. I hope Charles was his name. Yes, Charles Greeley.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the two people you haven't mentioned yet. And there is, I will remind you, another person that none of you have spoken to yet that is carrying a bag.
Would that be the man with the colorful toga?
No, the man with the colorful toga is Charles Greeley.
Yes.
And
Okay.
it's specifically not a toga, which is why I referred to it as being more colorful than normal. It's a more technically proper attire for the occasion because this guy is a classicist and a dork. Anyway, it's something called a synthesis. We don't need to get into this. So the sixth guy, are there six of them? Am I counting that right?
I think there are six.
Yeah, because we missed one and we all split up to different people. Yeah.
So the sixth guy, you guys are looking around the room and you can see he is a tall man, but he's got sort of bad posture. His neck is like very, like almost like a bird-like posture, like a vulture. His neck is sort of angled at a weird forward angle that strikes you as odd. He's got greasy black hair, and he's dressed in darker clothes and robes, sort of, and he's talking to people, but he doesn't seem like he really fits in here necessarily. So that's the person that you haven't met yet. Did you guys want to talk any more about people that you have met, or?
I believe we've gone over everything that we need. Mrs. Murphy, it's very difficult to hear you.
Yeah, I can't
so
hear
you're
her
aware.
well, actually. I didn't even notice. I'm
I
sorry.
thought you were just sitting there quietly the entire time.
Seems in character.
Let's just also make like slightly like passive aggressive comments towards Sophie while she can't respond.
Oh no. We're not able to
They're
hear.
going to be a thing this evening, so I'm sorry about that.
Yes,
Ladies
we're
and
very
gentlemen.
sorry, everyone. We're trying to get our footing. Alrighty here.
Man, if only we were that ex-military guy, then we only have to get 1 foot on to get our footing.
It's not.
All right.
Yeah, I really hope we just avoid him forever now.
I want him to be
You know
the main
he-
antagonist.
In possession of the book, and you know that he reads Lucy Crawford stories. Those are the two facts that you have learned about this man.
Yet he's read the Pharaoh's Tomb, but he is yet to read Pranks of the Unknown.
Excuse you, it's the mystery of the Pharaoh's tomb.
The mystery of the Pharaoh's Tomb. Blah de blah blah. Still not the Pranks of the Unknown.
We are able to hear you now, Sophie.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so does Elizabeth Murphy have something she'd like to say, or are you just clearing your throat?
Did you talk to anyone, Elizabeth?
To Charles Greeley. He works at the museum and he specializes in classical texts. He said that he hadn't heard of Idon, but he seemed like he was lying. Weird. I don't know why he would lie about something like that, but
Interesting. Did you question further?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
Remember, I've had a few drinks.
That's fine. I guess once we're ready to continue, I will
Sure. Yeah.
take a visit over to Mr. Greeley.
Okay.
Are you going alone?
I suggest.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking in character right now.
Yes.
I didn't. Hold on. Never
When I put
mind.
on the slight accent, it means I'm talking in character.
I'm so sorry. Go on.
I suppose I'll take the doctor with me.
All right. Yes.
Elizabeth, you should probably stay out of his sight, not to arouse suspicions.
Great.
What about you, lot?
Well,
I'm
if
not.
Mark, will you speak
You-
first,
you can
please?
go
Yes,
first.
please, you first.
I shall talk with the fellow that the lady ran into earlier tonight, the eccentric one with the toga.
So you're going
Oh,
with
yes.
the doctor and but that's where they're going.
Oh, I thought they were talking to the hunchback guy. I'll go to the hunchback guy.
He's not really a hunchback, but yeah, go for it.
All right.
Also like to
Vulture
get-
guy.
Bad posture. Yeah, okay. Sure, okay.
I'll also not see or hear Alex because I cannot.
both
I can see and hear me.
him.
I can see him just fine.
Mm-hmm. He's coming up
I
just
can see
fine.
me.
Great.
Oh,
Yeah.
but Lorenzo's stuck for me.
Who's back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Okay.
Technical diss.
No.
Yeah, I'm,
Lorenzo's
if
stuck.
I seem a bit distracted, it's because I'm looking at better equipment, so that way this doesn't keep happening to me.
That's totally fine. Okay, let's continue on. So, Rhiannon, where are you heading to right now?
I'm not gonna do the voice now.
Yeah, let's
I
not.
thought about it for a minute.
Put your button
Don't do the voice.
voice like an octave up or something, so we know you're in character.
Hi. No.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to talk to the our proprietor that brought us here this evening.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few
Proprietors.
more questions for him.
Yeah, I'm
so
not.
that's Mr. Langley.
Yes.
Mr. Langley.
Langley. All right.
And where's
Oh, yeah.
Detective Murphy going?
Which one? There's two of us.
The one who's a
yeah,
detective.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Wait, aren't we all technically detectives though right now?
No, you're all investigators. She's literally a detective.
Oh.
Yeah, literally cool. I'm gonna go to the same guy that Lorenzo is going to, the man who's hunched over, with the one who looks like Severus Snape, basically.
Yes, that's the gist. Okay. All right. Any preference on who starts?
Shall we
Good
roll
question.
d20s again?
There's, I guess, if you want to, or
Oh.
we can just pick someone. Let's just say, those of you who are going to Greeley can go first.
Okay.
So, Mr. Masterson and Mr. Eakley.
Yes, sir.
So
All
what do
right.
you think of this guy, Doctor? First looks. You're supposed to know what he's thinking, right?
I'm sorry. What was that?
You're supposed to know what he's thinking, right?
Oh, that's not until I speak with him. But
Whatever.
hopefully, I'm sorry.
I said whatever.
All right. Yes. But if we approach, I believe that we should be able to hear more of what he's saying. So yes. We both approach.
Okay.
And wander up to
So,
him.
are you just trying to like listen in on the conversation he's having with someone else right now, or are you trying to
No.
initiate a
I'm
conversation?
talking to someone else.
It's a party. Everyone's vaguely talking to somebody else, but it's not going to be an issue to get his attention.
Yeah. I would like to approach and begin a conversation.
All right. How do you do that?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Can I help you?
I'm just new to this party. I've only met a few people, and I was just wanting to
We
introduce
both are.
myself.
Sure. And how may I make your acquaintance?
Hello, my name is Dr. James Masterson. I was invited to this party by some random
That fell
let's
over
say
there, Mr. Langley.
oh yes
Mr. Langley invited. I see.
yes
And where does he know you from? By the way, I'm sorry. It's a pleasure to meet you, Dr. Macterson. My name's Dr. Greeley.
Dr. Greeley. Oh,
Charles Greeley.
a fellow doctor.
Doctor.
May doctor. May I ask what your profession is?
Well, I'm afraid I'm a
specialization.
doctorate in philosophy rather than one of you medical doctors. But I am an academic of sorts, a historian. I study the classics, and specifically classic texts and artifacts. A little bit of archaeology. So to
Really?
speak.
That's very interesting. I'm quite the collector of
Really?
specific texts. Yes. And now, just so you know, I am a doctor in psychiatrics, not of the medical profession either. So,
Well, I see. So how again do you know Mr. Langley? I've never seen you at any of his events before.
He was so kind as to invite us as a sort of welcome to town sort of thing.
mm-hmm.
Are you new to town, Mr. Eakley? You don't sound like it. You sound
I'm
like
not.
you grew up on the south side.
I'm not new to town, but
see.
old doctor and I we're pals. He visited my shop, asked if I knew any good places, and it so happens Mr. Langley was there as well.
Ah, I see. Well, how kind of him. Of course, we're always welcome to have new people, especially those of an intellectual caliber such as yours, Dr. Masterson. And you can see that he's sort of like deliberately avoiding talking to the working class here. Like, it's obvious that he's directing all of his comments at Dr. Masterson wherever possible. Well, it's good to meet you, of course, and unless there's anything else you need, I'll be returning to the party.
Well, I feel whenever I meet someone, I like to create a bit of a stronger connection, if that is okay. If you don't mind sitting and having a chat over, say, a glass of wine.
Psychic types, am I right?
Well, sure, I always enjoy a glass of wine with a friend.
Quite.
And I'd be happy to sit down with you. So he sort of like walks off to grab a drink from whatever the nearest platter is.
Mhm.
And he comes back and sits down at this table next to where you've been standing and chatting, and you sit down with him. Do you both sit down with him?
I'll hang by.
Okay.
Doctor, if you need me, I'll be over here at the drink table.
Great, thank you so much.
Okay. So you're just sort of like nearby waiting for an assist if need be. And
Yeah,
okay.
waiting for something.
Do you think you're close enough to like hear this conversation? Actually, there's a skill for that. Can you do me a listen check?
Okay. That would be these two bad Larrys, right? The percentile there.
Yep, percentile dice. I don't know. Let me check your character sheet.
Okay. I just got 89.
That is a serious failure.
Yeah.
That's not even close. It's loud in here. You can't hear what they're saying at all. Even though you're like relatively close by, it just sort of disappears into the din of the general party. So I'm going to say if they like raise their voices for any reason, you'll be able to hear that. But otherwise, this conversation is not within your field of awareness.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab a drink and try to make myself look not out of place.
Sure. The only one in the room not wearing a toga. So, all right. So how do you start this conversation with the doctor here?
So, doctor, you said you're an avid collector and researcher of literature. May I ask if there are any specifics that are your favorite?
Oh, well, of course, literature is a strong word for what I do. I'm not an Englishman, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am an Englishman, but I'm not a man who studies English.
I understand.
I collect, or rather, I study the artifacts themselves rather than the contents, is, I suppose, the best way to put it.
Really?
I'm a collector of the ancient scrolls and such.
Oh, well, you know what they say. You mustn't judge a book by its cover.
They don't have covers. They come in tubes.
I understand. Sorry, I dropped my monocle. That is very true. I'm sorry. I
Of course. A layman can't be expected to know all of these things.
Oh, okay. Now, I've done a fair share of my own research into texts such as the ones that you speak of. But wait. I don't want to pry or anything, but
Sure. Ask away. I'm an open book.
okay. Well, what is it that that interests you in these texts? Is it just the appearance or just the history behind them?
I read the contents too, of course.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
more for their historical value than their literary value. I'm simply very interested in the things that the ancients can teach us.
Oh, really? That sounds quite interesting.
Oh, very.
I too am interested in very similar subjects.
Are you?
Yes, I've explored my fair share of let's call magic of the mind.
Would you care to elaborate?
It's very hush when it comes to my profession. But
I see.
mhm.
Well, I suppose I'll have to just go without hearing about it then. Now,
Is he
there any
does he currently have a drink right now?
Yeah, he's got a glass of wine and
Yeah.
he's sipping it.
Okay.
Are you planning to drug him?
No. I'm talking about does Dylan currently?
I don't know if
What's-
Dylan does.
I do. I believe so. Or from my last conversation with
Sure.
Mrs.
Yeah, that would
Mrs.
make
All
sense.
right.
Baxter.
Well, Murphy carries over 2 drinks over there, and he goes, Doctor, you have got to try this wine. It is incredible. Same stuff that Mr. Langley had at his party last Thursday.
Oh, really?
Try it.
So you can see at the mention of Langley's party last Thursday, you can see that this man has a reaction to it. Something about what you've just said has made him somewhat uncomfortable.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you know the man. Were you there?
Yes, I was actually. Langley and I are good friends. That's why I was so surprised to hear you mention that you knew him. I'd never met either of you before.
Oh, really? First of all, Doctor, tell me the wine is not incredible.
Well, it's the same wine that I'm currently drinking from the glass that I'm holding in my other hand, but thank you for getting me more.
It doesn't
When I
hurt to
said
have another
doctor,
glass.
I was
Oh,
reading,
you were
I was
talking to
reading
the other
Dylan's
one?
doctor. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
His first name, James.
James.
James Masterson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me this wine is not incredible.
Here, let me have a quick sip. Oh, wow. That is quite exquisite. What year is it from?
Oh gosh, I'm not much of a wine man myself.
Oh, mhm.
Mister, did I get your name?
Mr. Greeley. Dr.
Greeley. That's it. I reach out my hand to shake his hand.
And he shakes it, and then he sort of like wipes it on his clothes. A pleasure.
I'm not quite, Mr. Greeley. Murphy. I'm not quite sure the year of this wine. I'm sure Mr. Langley would know. I could go ask him.
Well, if you'd like to, I don't suppose I see why not.
Yeah. Well, he had the same.
Wait,
stuff
hold on.
before.
So Langley, in the timeline here, Langley is currently talking to Ethan. I don't know if he's below me in the
Yeah.
in the overlay or not.
Wait, hold on, let me check.
That's not the important
yeah.
question right now. The point is that he's currently engaged in a conversation.
Yes.
All right. Would we like to take this time to switch over, and then
Sure. Yeah.
at some
Yeah,
point
let's
in
do
this
that.
conversation, I can bust in?
Yeah. Okay. So. Right. So how are you approaching Langley here? What's your game plan?
I'm just gonna walk up to him.
Okay. What would you like to say to him? He acknowledges you. He sees that you're there and he knows who you are.
I have a few more questions I'd like to ask you about.
Sure. Ask away.
First being, how do you know the person would have the book on them tonight?
Well,
They could
saying
just have
that
left-
would be giving away the game, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, but if you're trying to have us to find the book,
Oh, no. I don't
Maybe-
want you to find the book. I just want you to tell me who has it.
well, yes, but we should be able. It would be help narrow down our search if we know some reason why they might. We might have
Have I
a few more.
have I not
clues.
narrowed your search
have-
far
have I-
enough?
a few
Have
more
I not
clues.
narrowed your
I'm
search far enough?
just curious.
I am not at liberty to reveal to you where I got that information, but I do know for certain that it is here tonight.
Fair enough.
Is this currently where Elizabeth is right now? Also,
Was it?
Elizabeth, where did you go?
Yeah.
I thought she went with Enzo, or with
I
Mark
did,
Chase.
yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So back to this conversation. I forget what I just asked, or I just said that I'm not at liberty to tell you. Yeah.
Yes. And then I was looking through my notes to find the other question I was going to ask. Where is it? From last time. Hold on. Fuck, I lost it. The question. So, I don't have any more questions. I forgot what my question was.
Okay. So Eagly's gonna come barging into this conversation now.
Okay.
hey guys.
Is it just you? It's not also.
I am by myself talking to Langley.
No, right. But Murphy, you're coming on your own. You're not bringing
Yeah,
the
it's just
two
me. I
doctors.
left them alone because I kind of
Right,
wanted an
okay.
excuse to get away for a minute because
Sure, yeah.
he likes me, and I don't think
Yeah.
he's gonna open up around me.
So, Mr. Eakley, what can I do for you?
Yeah, well, first of all, that Greeley fella, he says he knows you. Is that true?
Why, yes, he was at my party. You get to know certain people around the town at events like these.
All right, that's good. Wanted to make sure he was, actually telling the truth to me. I suppose I should also ask, are you any wine expert?
Well, I wouldn't consider myself a world-class expert, but I know a little bit about wine.
Okay, that wine at the table, any idea when it was made?
Oh, it's the Tuscan 1887.
Oh, the Tuscan 1887. Thank you.
Oh, it's a beautiful vintage.
Thank you. Rhiannon, how are you getting along over here?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
True.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So, are you leaving this conversation now, equally?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna go back to the other conversation and give Ethan a minute to think of this question. So you're gonna go back to talking to the two doctors, yeah?
Oh, me? I thought you meant the other conversation.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, sure.
asking, are you like? I thought you meant that you like
Yeah.
wanted to go tell them what the wine vintage was. I thought
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
Okay.
I thought you said the other two, but yeah, I'll go back.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
So first of all, do they look like they're like in intense conversation right now? Anything important?
Probably not. So far, this has just been Dylan like awkwardly pontificating on magic of the mind. I don't know what's happening. So
Okay.
unless Dylan
Did you know
wanted
if you
to like
poke one with a
deliberately
little
start,
piece of metal, their arm goes.
Dylan, were you
All right.
like planning on starting a serious conversation when Eagly left, or?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay. Then let's do that. Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
So in that case, I'm just kind of like,
All right. What's your angle?
So, I'm wanting to ask of, since the party of last week was mentioned, I wanted to ask, what he thought of it, because, I'll just ask it. So, it does seem you went to the party of last week. I'm very new here, as I was saying, but how was that? Is this a type of thing I should frequent?
Oh, well, if you're in the habit of keeping the company of the right people, you'll frequently find yourself at this sort of a thing. It's, it's food and drink and company and appropriately diverting.
So, what do you mean by the company of the right people? Are there specifics? Is there a specific trait I should be looking out for, or kind of person who lives around here?
Well, and he sort of lowers his voice. He says, "Well, I just mean to say that perhaps you should find someone other than a man such as the one that you came with today to accompany you in your time in London."
Oh, I do believe I know what you are speaking of.
Of course.
Yes, that is not the type of. That is more of a man who I have as a client. I am just.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
He's not violent, I hope.
Oh no, I would never associate with someone who is quite as violent.
Good.
Now I've spoken to my fair few, but
It's a very exciting career you have, Doctor.
it is. It allows me to explore all reaches of man. But yes, it has been quite lovely to speak with you.
Of course, and it's a pleasure to meet you as well. How long will you be in town?
I am not sure. It depends on how my luck finds me.
Well,
if I might say.
I'll hope to see you again sometime soon.
Oh, wonderful. We are ending this
So,
conversation.
unless you have anything in particular more to say here, this man is done with you. He does not. You've just been like waffling at him for 45 minutes now.
Dido.
So I'm quite sorry, but there's just one thing I must ask you.
Sure, of course.
I've been asking everyone around. It seems to be somehow a sore subject for people, but I'm looking for a very specific thing. And you, a man
sure.
of how you said texts and artifacts yourself.
Yes.
You might know something of it.
Sure, ask away.
It is a text. I forget the name. What's the name?
Oh, the name of the
Yeah.
author is Idon.
Idon.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were
Oh,
asking
I thought
me.
it was Dido. My bad.
Do we know? We don't know the title, correct?
You do not know the title. You just
Okay.
know the name of the man who wrote it.
So this is a piece, which I've heard much about, but it is written by a man named Idon. Have you heard of him?
So he says, no, I haven't. Actually, I need to go. I have other people to speak to.
Oh.
He is very visibly shaken by this thing that you have just told him. You can tell that he's having some kind of reaction to hearing this name for the second time tonight from two strangers.
Mm-hmm.
And he is like, before you really get the chance to follow up on that, unless you're planning on taking drastic action, he's gone. He's back into the crowd.
Okay. I'm
I
very
think we
sorry.
should all go up to him and say, "I don't."
I could threaten him. I could threaten him, guys. I'm scary. He doesn't like me. I could threaten him.
You have an intimidation skill.
Yeah. Can I stop him before he leaves, or
Like physically?
no? Just by speaking to him.
Depends on what you say.
All right. I just want to say, Doctor, you seem very shaken. Is everything okay? Did something happen?
Sir, I'm afraid I really must go. I will be speaking to you. Well, we'll see. And then he's gone.
Okay.
Unless Eakly is making a move to stop him.
Guys, no. Oh, okay. I don't want to break the game, but I really want to consult you guys. Should I threaten him? I could intimidate him and be like, "Where's the book?"
I mean, if you want
So
to.
I'm going to tell you right now. That is going to be an intimidation check of extreme difficulty. You will need to roll under 1/5 of your value for the skill.
Where's my intimidation skill? Where on the sheet is it? I can't find it.
Good question. Your intimidation skill is at the bottom of the, or near the bottom of the left column.
Yeah.
Yours
like,
is 50, looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right above language.
So do you want to
Okay.
bet on rolling a 10 or lower on this one?
Probably not.
Yeah,
All
let's not
right.
do that.
So he escapes into the crowd. Now remember,
Okay.
you guys are not tasked with retrieving this book. You just need
Yes.
to have solid evidence that you know who has it.
Yes.
So you don't need to once you figure out who it is, you do not need to confront them in any way. You just need to know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
So
In this case, as he's leaving, I'm gonna walk back over to Jest Masterson.
Okay.
Sure. So what do you have something to say?
I just want to. I'm talking to Masterson now. I'm gonna say
Right. Yeah.
that didn't look like it went too well.
We were having a lovely conversation until I mentioned the author we have come to seek, and it absolutely seems like he was visibly shaken and possibly upset when speaking of it, and
Might be exactly what we need to pin him.
so I am.
But I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. It makes me heavily suspicious of what he knows about this. I believe this is definitely something we should report back to our lovely host.
Let's see what the others think when they're talking to Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome over there.
Tall, dark, and ugly. Okay, so let's shift over to that conversation now, unless Ethan has remembered his question.
I have remembered my question.
All right, let's do that real quick then. So,
Okay. I do have one more question though.
of course,
Is there
anything you need.
anyone who you've had any disagreement with? Anybody who wouldn't want you to have possession of the book?
Well, let's just say that if someone didn't want me to have possession of the book, it would be for reasons beyond personal disagreement.
Fair enough.
All right, and over to
And quick
Mark Chase and
White
Elizabeth
transition.
Murphy. So you guys are approaching this gentleman. He's sort of looking a little fish out of watery here. He's sort of holding a drink and not really talking to anybody. Nobody seems upset by his presence, but he's also not really fitting in.
Okay.
So how do you approach this guy?
Okay.
Sorry, I just ate a
So-
sandwich. Okay.
Thank you, Sophie. Very cool.
Okay, continue.
Okay. So I walk up to him and I.
Go ahead. I thought Sophie was telling me to continue, and I was like, it's your move.
No, Lorenzo.
Okay.
I walk up to him and I say, "Hello, stranger. What's your story?"
My story, sir?
Yeah. How'd you exactly end up in a party like this?
Well, I was invited, of course. I know certain people who enjoy events like these, and I find it to be to my advantage to attend them.
That man over there, and I point to Sam, wherever he is.
Ah, Mr. Langley. What about him?
Oh. He just seems very well endowed and a lot of topical. 1 second.
He's what?
I'm
Very
thinking-
well endowed.
He's not.
You might want to rethink your
No,
phrase.
Louis.
That's to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was doing that.
We were all 8 years old.
My character's name is Hector the Well Endowed. Let's see.
Sounds like a Dark Souls
Oh.
boss name.
Well,
Go ahead.
okay. So I point to him and he says the thing, and then I say, "Hey." Oh, my mind's just blanking. I don't know why this is happening.
Is
Hey.
Sophie here currently? Is Elizabeth Murphy here to rescue you? Because at this point, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say you've been
You're
like.
so flabbergasted by Langley's endowedness.
Okay.
This man is now like
Uh,
noticing you struggling to come up with things to say.
Sir.
So Elizabeth Murphy, how are
It's
you?
like I know what I want to say, but I just can't like say the. I can't put it together. I don't know why.
We
He's
are
having a. Can
good
you
at
smile for me, Lorenzo? Hold both arms
I'm
up.
having a stroke.
His camera's frozen too.
Oh, this camera's
We
frozen.
swear we know what we're doing.
And the real horror was
Oh,
heart
okay.
disease.
The real horror was
Whole
social
time.
interaction all along.
Alright.
Back on track.
Back on track.
Back into the game.
Yeah. Please
Okay.
excuse my friend here. He's a little bit socially inadequate, if you will. But he's best.
Of course, I understand. I was an awkward child myself, though I would assume that a man would grow out of it by his age.
You would think.
Well,
What's your name, sir?
I had a.
Cranston. Albert
continue.
Cranston. Wonderful to meet you. And you're both Americans, yes?
I nod.
How fascinating. And what brings you to London and this party? And this man, like, you can sense that the tempo of this conversation has shifted and he is interrogating you now.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Like,
we
he's-
were actually invited here.
By whom?
Invited by Mr. Langley.
Ah, Mr. Langley. An interesting man, that one. And how do you know him?
We had corresponded before. He had reached out to some other fellow Americans and invited us.
And so are you just gonna laugh into your mic and leave it at that? Is that your...
No, she just said my fellow Americans, and I just thought of Obama. I'm sorry.
I'm not supposed
Breathe.
to lie, but I don't know like what I'm supposed to say here. Because you
Well,
can't
this is something
lie,
that
but
you
also,
need to
like-
lie about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying don't lie, I'm saying don't lie for no reason. Like, this is a good reason to lie. Because obviously, oh, we were invited by mysterious letter to solve a crime. It's not a good thing to say here.
Challenge accepted.
So,
I'll backtrack on that statement.
yeah.
As personally, I was visiting, and him and other kids were in a certain bar. We were drinking. We
Kids,
met,
you
and
say?
he
In a
invited us to
bar?
the party.
How intriguing the way you Americans do things.
Mhm.
This isn't in character for me at all. I'm just like saying things.
We're kind of good at this, guys.
And so you can see that he like does not swallow this piece of information, but he does just sort of say, "Well, I see. Well, it's good to have you, I suppose. Now, what would you like?"
Like?
Well, you approached me, didn't you? Is there something you need?
Oh, I'm just mingling, honestly, my friend and I here. Mark, Mr. Chase, if you will. We were just looking around, trying to get to know people.
Oh, I see. I'm not used to frivolous socialization. I'm a salesman, you see. I had assumed that Mr. Langley had pointed you in my direction, so to speak.
Yes.
What do you sell?
Oh, all kinds of things. I'm a purveyor of goods magical and arcane.
Ah.
See.
Would you happen to have anything made or written by a man named Idon?
Mm,
Now, where did you hear that name?
Through the grapevine.
I think
Where
Mr.
did you
Langley
hear
had
that
mentioned
name?
it.
No, Mr. Langley had mentioned it. Mr. Langley knows.
Well, we were talking about.
And you can see that
we
this
were talking
is
about
he's sort of like absorbing this information for a minute. So go on. What were you saying?
Clearly chatting about Greek literature in the bar, and many names came up, and Idon seemed to be one of his favorites, and he recommended it for me to try reading, and I haven't tried it yet, but if anybody, was able to give me access to a certain book or scripture, then I would be interested.
See. Well, I'm afraid I am not the man to get you access to such a book. I deal more in herbs and artifacts and other such things of a magical nature, but I'm not a collector of that sort of thing. But, of course, I can sell you a poultice or a potion to cure any ails that might be bothering you, or anything else that I might be able to help with. I'm an accomplished apothecary.
Potion seller, I'm going into
Sam, what are you doing?
I think you should buy something from him.
I was thinking, but I don't know what to buy.
Anything!
Ask him.
Tell him you're going to battle and you need his strongest potion.
This is serious table talk here,
Guys, come
This
on.
is not supposed to be happening.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, I understand.
Get out of this
When you,
stupid party. My character hates
Say,
parties. I'm in character.
You're just shouting across the room.
Boss.
Cilantro! That's what I yell.
and Cranston like turns his head like,
Hello.
do you know this man?
That's what I do.
Okay.
I was wondering, what kind of potions you say do you sell exactly?
Oh, well, general use things. A potion for potency, or a potion for mental strength, or a potion for willpower, or a potion for luck, that sort of thing.
That luck potion.
The luck potion.
Really is
You want the
Harry
luck
Potter,
potion.
isn't it?
So he takes out he's got one of these leather bags as well, and he opens it up and he takes out this like big wooden box. And he sets that on the table next to him, and he takes a key that he was keeping somewhere in his toga. And he unlocks the little lock on this box, and he flips open the lid, and you can see he's like sort of trying to hide the contents of this box from you. Like he's between you and the box, but you can see sort of like a red satin lining with some files of something in there. But you don't really know what's going on. But he takes out a little glass container and he closes the box up again really quickly, and puts that back in his bag. And he hands this to you. And as far as you can tell, this is just like a clear fluid. There's nothing special going on here, visually at least. And he hands that to you and he says, "How much should this cost? Hold on. Gotta do some quick British money conversion."
I know this game also has like a weird currency system.
Yeah, we've
Require
talked about this
actual
before.
money.
Right. So I'm just gonna say that this is within your spending limit. So as long as you're not buying like 20 of these, you can just we're not gonna worry about the price. You're gonna exchange whatever needs to be exchanged here.
Yeah, I think I'd like to do that.
Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you then, and he gives it to you. So you've seen what's in this man's
Thank
bag
you.
now. Is there anything else you'd like to know from him? Mark Chase is still here, I think, sort of just looking dumbfoundedly at what's happening.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm seeing some technical difficulties. So,
Amazing.
Okay, he's a poker seller. Is there anything? Can I inquire if there's any sort of potion that would? I don't want to sound stupid when asking him this because I've already made a bad impression on him. Is there any potion that might help us have better discernment or better discernment or better I can't remember the word. I'm just gonna go with that. Any sort of that would give us better discernment in deciding a very important decision.
Well, I always find that a potion of willpower helps with many such things. It's a very versatile little concoction. Would you like one?
I accept, and I hand over my cash, and
he has to open up this box again that he had just closed because, and he hands that to you, and you exchange goods and/or services. So, well, it's been a pleasure to meet both of you, I suppose, and you'll have to thank Mr. Langley for sending me such wonderful customers. And he clearly looks like he's expecting this conversation to be over.
okay.
Do you have more to say to him?
It was very nice meeting you, Mr. Cranston.
Of course.
Hope we can speak again sometime.
I would be happy to. And of course, and he takes out, I was going to say he takes out his wallet. This man does not have a wallet on him in this toga. He takes from the front flap of the bag that he's still left on the table at this point. He takes a little business card out of it, and he says, "You can, of course, find me during normal business hours at this location." And it's got an address on it somewhere in London.
All right.
Are you also done, Mr. Chase?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so are you guys sort of? I'm going to say that you're all sort of finishing up these different conversations at around the same time. Are you regrouping at this point?
I'd say yes.
I say yeah.
Let's regroup.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, gents. Man over there, Mr. Greeley.
Yes.
Greasley?
Greeley.
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 Mm-hmm.
Greeley. Although I don't have anything to specifically pin him, I don't trust him. He, at the mention of Idon, according to the doctor, he was quite. How would you put it, Doctor?
Apprehensive.
Apprehensive.
And, he seemed quite shaken and anxious.
So.
And he would not speak to me any further afterwards. So
Yes.
there's absolutely something there for us to speak with Langley about.
The man didn't like me very much, so I'm not going to go talk to him again. But I think, just going off of my gut feeling, I think our business with him is not over. How did you work out with the skinny guy?
Well, he's apparently some
Actually
sort of.
Though we can't hear you.
Oh, Mrs. Murphy, would you mind going first?
He didn't seem nearly as menacing as his appearance lets on. He was quite kind. He works. Did it say that he works at an apothecary?
He is an apothecary, so that's like a pharmacist basically, but for magical medicines and herbs.
So he as he makes these potions that he sells, and I bought one as well as Mr. Chase over there. And obviously I'm skeptical, but we'll see what happens.
You bought from the guy?
What perhaps did you purchase?
I purchased a potion of willpower.
A potion of willpower.
Right. So Sophie has this little, basically like a test tube sort of a thing, stoppered with a cork. And it's just full of like perfectly clear liquid. Like this is water or vodka or magic. Those are the options.
Yes, I was going to ask.
One of these things is not like that.
And Enzo has one that's sort of like another clear but like brownish fluid that has some like leaves and detritus floating around in it.
Yeah, I love Dr.
Now, you both say that these are potions, correct?
Yes.
Do you have any clarification that these are truly potions? This man, you're saying this man is carrying around something and selling at parties. This heavily sounds like what might be snake oil.
Murphy Eagley, who does not believe in magic at all, says it's water. And you just paid for a little bottle of water.
Well,
Safe to say that both of our guts were telling us that we could trust this man, whether these potions are actually real or not. I think we all agree that we can use all the help.
Wait, he didn't keep them in his bag, did he?
He did.
Well, to be more specific, he kept them up within a box that was in his leather bag, and he needed a key to open it.
He probably wouldn't put a thick book in the same bag as his glass vials. That could be something.
Those were
That's very
in
true.
a box. It was in the bag. He took the box out, got a key from somewhere in his robes, and unlocked the box, and quickly closed it once he got what he needed.
Did you happen to get
So
a glimpse inside of the box? Mrs. Murphy.
It was to make out what was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or a few vials, just like the ones that Mr. Chase and I have.
Mm-hmm.
Miscellaneous ingredients.
Is that all that she saw, Mr. Keeper?
Yes, yeah. What she saw was she could see that it was like a fancy like polished wooden box. It's got this like picture like a card table. It's got this like red lining of felt, and it's got a whole bunch of these vials in it. And she probably wasn't able to like clearly see exactly how many of these there were or what was in them or anything like that, but she could see that did appear to be the contents of the box. And I'm going to say that you can also reasonably tell or reasonably make a guess that there probably wasn't, given how big the box and his bag were, probably wasn't something else in there as well, or if there was, it wasn't very big.
No room for a book.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do believe he is someone that we can discount at least for now on our little hunt here.
And if we ever need to run into him again and I show them all the business card, we know where to find him.
Mrs. Byer. Did you happen to see or hear anything that might be of use?
Only that the person we're looking for, the reason why they took the book, is beyond just a personal quarrel with Mr. Langley.
Oh, okay.
Something greater at
So
hand.
possibly like a dilemma, maybe.
So that's quite intriguing because the man I spoke to seemed to have a close personal connection with Mr. Langley, as I could gather.
Langley didn't seem to 100% say they were close friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not quite
Speaking-
sure the man might have been stretching the truth a little.
Okay.
Speaking of something that I was just reminded of, the potion seller told us that he wasn't a collector of such books or writings like Eidon's. And didn't you have a bit of a collector of such things, or am I misremembering?
Now, whom are you speaking to?
The lady who seemed to take a mighty great interest in you, personally.
Oh,
Are you
yes.
talking? I can't hear.
Yes, so she I did speak with her. She did say that she had quite the collection and did seem another who was apprehensive to speak of this author. But she seemed a bit more willing than our other friend. So that might be something different. Our friend, Dr. Greeley, seems to have something to hide, as far as I can understand. And if I do say so, I'm quite good at reading people. So, is there anything else that we would like to gather before we go and speak with Mr. Langley?
I suppose there are three people that we have not perfectly crossed off the list, and that would be Miss Crawford, Mr. Greeley, and Anna Baxter. Unless, am I wrong?
I do believe those are the only three. So if y'all wouldn't mind, I am off to go and speak with Mr. Langley if anyone else would like to join.
I'll accompany you.
Thank you. The rest of you, if
so-
you'd like to join, feel free, but
I
don't
will
feel
also speak to Mr.
We should probably all come to talk to him.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. We all approach Mr. Langley.
All of you are going to Mr. Langley? You're all here now. Do you have an answer for me?
Not quite yet.
We have it.
Well then,
Oh, I'm sorry.
What would you like from me?
I have quite the suspicion of the man over there. He goes by the name of Dr. Greeley. I did not catch his
Charles,
first name.
of course.
Yes, Charles.
You said you know him, but do you trust him?
Trust is a strong thing to apply to anyone, Mr. Eakley.
What would you happen to have any suspicion? Because I did mention the name of Idon, and he seemed to get very cut back and anxious at the mere mention of the name.
Well, it's a disquieting name.
Is it?
The suspicions are yours, not mine, I'm afraid.
Now,
If you're coming to me with guesses, then I cannot help you. Come to me with answers.
may I ask you what is the reason that people will become so shaken by this name?
Well, it depends on what they know about it.
Well, what do you know about it?
Can you go into any further detail?
Those who are familiar with the field
Mm-hmm.
And when I say the field, mind you, I do not mean classical literature.
Oh.
Those who are familiar with the field may recognize the name of Idon as one associated with many great horrors and the author of only one book.
Oh. Now, that is quite interesting. So you wouldn't classify this text that you're having a search for as classical literature?
I wouldn't
Correct.
classify it as anything you would have seen before, Doctor.
Okay, so we did meet an avid collector of classical literature, but
Sure.
so that
someone who does not know what they have found in their hands may have taken this book to be
okay.
a piece of classical literature. But I will clarify to you that at least one of the people that you have spoken to this evening knows the true nature of this book.
Quite interesting that you're aware of that.
I'm aware of a lot of things.
Yes, sir.
It's not our place to ask questions, I suppose.
Mrs. Murphy and Mr. Chase, you met someone that I feel may be of interest to speak of.
Yes, I take out the business card and I show it to Samuel.
Cranston, and what did you think of him?
A bit of an odd fellow,
Was-
but
I'd say odd is an understatement.
I'm willing to give whatever he's selling
both
a
of us
whirl.
some potions. What those or are valid or not is up for debate. Doesn't seem overly vicious as much as he was odd.
He is certainly an odd man. He may be... No, I suppose I shouldn't say that. I would recommend you do not try the potions.
That is
Okay.
okay.
Refrain from.
So now we do not have suspicions of him, I believe. But we just thought we would like to mention due to the nature of what one may call snake oil.
I suppose one may call it that. Aside from his salesmanship, was there anything he mentioned to you that struck you as particularly peculiar?
A business card. I could read.
He gave you a business card. Yes, as I'm currently holding the business card. Mr. Chase has given me the business card.
Crazy.
I have the business card. Well, if that's all, then I suppose I'll let you get back to your investigation.
Tip of the hat.
I
Do you have more questions?
I just feel that there's a lot more to this Mr. Or Dr. Greeley than he is leading on. Would perhaps having a conversation with you, since you two know each other so well, to my understanding, lead to any more information?
I wouldn't say I know him too well. I know a lot of people and I know a lot of things. But tonight is not about me knowing things. Tonight is about you knowing things.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I believe.
Of course.
Everyone else, what would you like to do next?
Suppose
would
it couldn't
like to
hurt.
Go back and talk.
I'm
I
sorry.
would like to go back and talk to Anna Baxter.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
Have you talked to her? You have talked to her before.
Yes.
We also never sent anybody to go
I
back
did.
and talk to the general.
Yep. He's a colonel.
Colonel,
He,
whatever.
like,
Colonel.
he got his
I don't
medal.
think he
General
wants
sells insurance.
to.
I mean, someone who has not been involved in the process of haranguing him thus far can go and speak to him if they really like to.
So it's either that's Sophie, Enzo, or
No,
No,
Enzo
no,
was
I
there.
would.
It's Sophie
yeah.
or Dylan.
oh, it's Sophie Dillon. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
I gave him the autograph and also harassed him a bunch.
Who?
Oh yeah, man, I love harassing old men with wounds from wartime.
Oh yes.
This man, he's not old. You keep saying he's old. You keep giving these
It's
people
for the
traits that I have
joke.
not given them.
Fine, I like
He should
harassing
be old.
middle-aged men with like wounds from war.
Yeah, crippling war wounds. So, what do you want from him? What is your goal in going to talk to him
Well,
again?
we never discussed Idon.
No, I don't suppose you did.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Literally,
Okay,
our entire
so
conversation with him was you and me going back and forth making really bad jokes and references to like really bad YouTube videos. And
Yeah.
then Sam and Enzo coming over and just harassing him and trying to steal his bag.
yeah, correct. So who's going back there?
Not me. Can't be me.
Right.
It's either Dylan or Sophie.
All right, so
I'll go.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mrs.
Sophie's
Murphy.
gonna go talk to him. What are the rest of you up to? I'm going to tell you, you shouldn't necessarily stop talking to people because they're no longer suspects. Everyone here has valuable information that could
Mhm.
potentially help.
Oh. I'll say it in character. I guess. You know, if each of these people. First of all, real quick, do we know everyone here was at the party? That was the first clue we were given.
No,
right?
you haven't asked all of them.
Mhm.
Okay.
The narrowing criteria was whether or not these people have bags. You don't know whether all of these people have even heard of Langley. Like you don't know.
Okay. If one of them was at the party, they might have seen something because we weren't there, but they might have.
Mhm.
We could ask them if one, they were there, and two, if they saw anyone or anything suspicious.
Yes, that is a wonderful idea. Now, who all do we know was at the party? Now, Mr. Greenlee, or
You know,
Greeley.
Mr. Greeley was there.
Yes,
I don't know that you've asked anyone else.
I don't.
We can
I don't
assume-
believe we have.
Not.
We can assume Anna Baxter, but we don't know
Yes.
for sure. She might be our
Um,
best
Yes,
next
she-
best
she-
bet.
Said she was at the party. I asked her.
Okay.
Okay.
She might be our next
Oh.
best bet. Although
Mhm.
she sees a lot of people, she might not have remembered anything. But
Maybe.
who knows?
It seems Miss Murphy is going over to speak with her right now.
And I'll
No,
go
Miss
as well.
Murphy is going to talk to the colonel.
Oh, okay.
Right? Isn't that what she said?
Yeah.
The colonel's name again?
Garrison.
Colonel's
Clay.
name is Garrison Clay.
So I'm sorry, I
Garrison
must have
Clay.
misunderstood.
That's okay.
But I mean, I would be fine with speaking to her some more.
I'll come with you.
Okay, great.
I mean,
It
to
seems
be-
we make a
to-
great team.
To be fair, you probably have the best chances of information out.
You might say
What are the
so.
remaining two of you doing?
There-
Are we going to talk to Greenlee? Greery.
Greeley.
More.
You are the two people who have not talked to Greeley yet. So yeah, if you
Yes,
want to talk
but-
to Greeley, you can talk to Greeley.
Yes, but I am not as of high class standing.
to
As
try
me?
This is true. He probably thinks you're illiterate.
Yeah, just like the colonel. Yeah, so probably would not be the best person to go talk to him.
Okay.
All right.
Is Enzo frozen again?
Yeah,
He
Enzo's-
might
Yeah, I
be.
believe so.
He's
Oh,
frozen.
God.
I was about to say, like, the sounds of most of like, so Enzo, you should go talk to him.
Let's just come back to him later.
Okay. I will. Okay. Who is we have someone going to. We have someone going to Greeley. We have somebody going to General.
Colonel.
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 Whatever.
All right.
Who should I hit up? Does anybody we
Hit
want to
up.
ask more questions who isn't like massive like classist?
I mean, do we have more questions for the author that Mr. Chase met?
Lucy Crawford.
Yes.
Did we ask her like any important information about Idon or anything?
No.
You've gotten her autograph twice.
Ask people about if they were at the party.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Yeah.
whoever stole the book was very likely at his party, because that's when he reported it stolen.
I guess I'll go talk to the author then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Anybody
Wonderful.
have a preference on who starts?
Enzo's camera's moving.
Mrs.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Very good.
Do you know what's going on?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I know what's going on. I've been able to hear. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
So,
Not here.
I would like to try
Oh my god.
I would like to try and go up to talk to
I hear you.
Bailey.
Okay.
Uh,
Can you not, Sophie? Can you not hear me?
Still not.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
I
we.
think it might just be
I
a
believe we
Sophie
all can
issue.
hear you.
Yeah.
Might just be a me issue. I got weird technology.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So.
So, let's start with the group of two, I guess. You guys are going back to Miss Baxter.
Yes,
Yeah?
we are.
Okay.
I would like to approach Miss Baxter and say,
And I'm here, but I'm taking a passive role as kind of like his buddy.
You're just chilling.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still there, but just
Yeah.
I'm letting him initiate the conversation.
hello once again, Miss Baxter.
Hello, Dr. Masterson. How lovely it is to see you again. And who's your friend?
Quite. This is my friend, Mr. Murphy Eakley. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, Murphy Eakley,
Well, Mr.
proprietor
Eakley.
of Murphy's Butcher Shop. Can I do like
businessman?
Can I do like the gentleman like kiss her hand thing?
Sure. And she just says, charmed. Like she's like clearly enjoying this like slightly old-fashioned bit of attention here. And what brings you back, Mr. Masterson? Have you reconsidered my offer?
Now, I've spoken to many others here attending this party, and just something is bringing me back to you.
Well, how sweet of you.
Yes.
Wait, real quick, we're talking to Anna Baxter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I thought Lucy Crawford was the one that. Oh no, she was
Lucy
the
Crawford
one.
is the author.
Yes.
This is the fourth time we're having this clarification.
Yeah, no, my bad.
The mystery of the Pharaohs 2 and alien abduction
yes.
gone wrong.
So there are just
Okay.
there are so many things about you that I just find quite intriguing.
Well, how kind of you.
Now,
And you having you clearly have a lot of you seem to have a lot of friends at this here party.
I have a lot of friends at every party.
Yeah. I was just wondering, do you happen to know Mr. Charles Greeley?
Mr.
And I
Greeley?
point at him and I say, like, does he look familiar?
Why, yes, he of course I know Mr. Greeley. Mr. Dr. Masterson, have you discussed with this man what we talked about before?
yes, actually, I did.
Have you?
Yes. At the mention of the name that I was mentioning to you earlier, what was it? Idon? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
He got very taken aback and nearly refused to speak to me further. So I just wanted to know if there was something wrong that I said to him. I didn't mean to upset him. I was just asking around.
We hate to be offensive.
Oh, yes, of course.
You see, Mr. Greeley is not a very trusting person, and it takes him some time to get to know his collectors. But if you're really in search of this volume, I can, of course, put in a reference for you if you see fit.
Oh, that would be fantastic. This text is just drawing me.
Of course. Here, let me. And she gets a napkin, and she opens up her bag, and she takes just like a fountain pen and a bottle of ink out of it, and like it is 1922, and there's no reason to be using a fountain pen with a bottle of ink, but she does it anyway.
Can I like take a peek in her bag as she's doing this? Should I roll some sort of like stealth?
She's literally taking something out of her bag right now.
Okay, I don't know if I needed her to if I needed to be sneaky in order to look in it.
I'm gonna say that you can get sort of a peek in it, and you can see that she's got what looks like a little pocket book in there, and maybe some like things of makeup and stuff like that. And you don't see anything that looks suspicious to you, but you also don't get that clear of a look.
All right, I'm gonna look at I'm gonna eye as she's writing the thing out. I'm gonna eye Masterson and give him kind of like a shrug.
Okay, so she takes this out and she writes on a cloth napkin, mind you. Like this is not a disposable paper napkin.
Oh man.
She writes on just like an actual napkin in black ink, just like. To Mr. Greeley, please treat my friend as you would treat myself. Mr. James Masterson is, of course, to be trusted. Signed, Anna Baxter. And she hands that to you and says, if you bring this to him, he should be much more willing to speak with you.
Oh, wonderful.
No, Miss Baxter, was Mr. Greeley at Samuel Langley's party last Thursday? Did you happen to see him?
How did you know that I was at Mr. Samuel Langley's party last Thursday?
I thought I recognized your face.
You were there? Well, I didn't see you there.
Briefly, the shop was supplying some catering, or we supplied a little bit of a sampler for a later date.
Oh, did you do the toothpick meatballs?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, those were delicious, fine grub.
Yes,
I shall be having to patronize your butcher shop sometime myself, I suppose. Those were delicious.
Please come on by. Can I write down like the address and give it to her?
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to
do some networking. Go for it.
Do you have a more modern pen I may use? I'm not so used to the quill.
And she says, "Oh well, not on me, I'm afraid, but I can do the writing if you just dictate to me."
All right.
So we'll assume that you just like tell her the address of your shop. And she writes it down.
Yeah, that's not something I've
He's
written up
come up
yet.
with an address and business hours and pricing of the menu.
Yes, we hope to see you.
Of course, and you cater, correct? I have lots of parties. I'm always in need of more caterers. I seem to exhaust them so quickly.
We can cater. We can do anything.
Well, then you'll expect to be hearing from me. So you've now ruined another napkin.
Murphy likes opportunities to make money.
Yeah, of course.
Capitalism waits for no mystery.
So, now, Mr. Masterson, is there anything more that I can do for you?
Nothing more than just hearing your voice again. It was wonderful to speak to you once again.
It's always a pleasure to speak to you, Mr. Murphy. And of course, you know where to find me if you should like to call on me.
Oh yes, I have that memorized. Thank you so much for more of your time.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Anytime.
Mrs. Baxter.
It's good to meet both of you.
Fine.
And then you've walked away. So, what is your next move here?
Well, I want to approach Dr. Greeley. Once again.
I think we should real quick chat, him and I.
Sure, go for it. Yep.
Okay.
What do you think about her, Doctor?
She seems quite charming, if I do say so.
Oh.
Save that for later. I got a peek in a bag. I didn't get that great of a look, but nothing seemed suspicious. So, and now we
Oh.
know that Mr. Greeley was in fact at Langley's party.
Mhm.
So
Once again,
keep that in mind.
I want to express my interest with speaking to Mr. Greeley some more.
I probably shouldn't come back to him. I'm not the most socially adept, but I could tell he didn't like me. And if there's any chance of him opening up, I shouldn't be nearby.
All right, if you so choose. Thank you for accompanying me initially and to this short meeting.
So you're off looking for Greeley?
Yes. Well,
And
we
Sam,
know where
what's
he is.
your next move?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go kind of find a spot in the room that I can just keep an eye out and see if anyone if anyone needs me, I'd like them to kind of like gesture towards me if they see me in
Okay.
the room.
So you're just keeping like a general lookout? You're just like
Yeah.
watching the room in general, or are you specifically watching?
I'm watching the room in general to see if anything starts to go bad, like if
Okay.
for whatever reason. Yeah.
I'm going to need you and Enzo both to make spot hidden checks.
Okay.
Enzo, can you hear me?
Oops. Can I roll again? It fell off the table.
Yeah, go for it.
So Enzo's frozen again.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, let's just leave that alone.
Yeesh.
Well,
I rolled an 80, and my spot hidden is 25.
all right, then you notice nothing out of sorts. Enzo, do you want to roll a
Yep.
spot hidden for me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna take that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So
can.
I rolled a. Okay, good.
Cannot
I rolled
hear
a
him, but I think
65. I was
that's my
typing
issue.
my results in the general chat. I rolled a 65, and my minimum to and the highest I could get away with a spot hidden roll is 25. So I would assume that I
That is
can't
a
see
failure.
really anything.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
noticing anything. So
We're blind.
Enzo, you've just gone looking for Mr. Greeley to talk to. So we're flashing back just a minute here to when you all first leave the conversation.
Yeah.
You're going to
Okay.
talk to Mr. Greeley, and you can't find him. You don't know where he is.
Woo-woo.
He was dressed in this like sort of colorful outfit, and he was wearing a different sort of hat from everybody else, and he seems like he should be pretty easy to pick out of a crowd, but you don't know where he is.
Oh, okay.
So what are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna check the bathrooms. That's where I would check if I was trying to find a missing person at a party. I would check the bathrooms.
Okay. All right. So
What did he say?
what did? Oh, you didn't hear it. He said he's
I
gonna check
still
the
can't
bathrooms.
He's
hear
off to
him.
check the bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sort of cross this sort of lobby area here over towards where the staircase is that would lead to the upper galleries. In sort of like underneath the staircase, or not underneath the staircase, like at the base of the staircase, there's some doors leading into the big pillar in the middle of the room. And those go sort of down a little set of stairs, and the bathrooms are down there. So no one is like immediately apparent to you. It does not look like there's anyone in these bathrooms right now. It is sort of dim down here. Like it kind of feels like this is not really where you're supposed to be right now. The lights aren't properly on, and you're not seeing any real signs of life.
Okay. Can I check the stalls?
Yeah, go for it. And
Okay.
you don't find anyone there. There's to your knowledge, you can sort of like you're in the men's room, right? You can sort of like open
Yeah.
these doors, and there's nobody in these stalls.
Okay. Can I roll a spot hidden to see if there's anything that's out of the ordinary that I can potentially spot within the bathroom?
In the bathroom? Yeah, go for it.
We go 44. That's too high.
Yeah, you
So
don't see.
I
anything
notice nothing.
extraordinary. You notice nothing. What's your next move?
well, my next move is to exit the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
And let's see. Exit the bathroom. If I were some crazy guy dressed up in a very brightly colored toga to get away, where would I get away? Can I... This is all taking place in the museum, right?
Yes, we're currently in the museum. I do just want to point out, you guys are not like locked in. No one is locked into the museum, right? This guy could have just left.
Okay.
that it is a possibility that he's not like hiding somewhere in the building. It's not a locked room mystery. He could have just left.
Oh, where did he go? Car passes by with him in it. Let's see. I think it over. Well, back in character, I think it over to myself, and
Yep.
I think, well, I already have like 4 other people here who can seek him out if need be. So I'm gonna go outside and sort of think, and not only look for him, but also sort of process all this information and think about what's the best move going
Okay.
forward for me.
All right.
So I head out the museum doors.
Yep.
Can I see him going outside the museum?
Yeah, I think you notice him leaving.
All right, I kind of noticed that's a little bit weird. I don't know why he's leaving the museum, so I walk after him.
Okay. So you're now also heading out the doors to the museum here?
Yeah, I just want to say, where are you going?
Well, unfortunately, our toga friend is nowhere to be found.
He's
And
gone.
I hope not, but he might have left after our friend gave him a little bit of a scare. So I'm going to check outside, see if I can find him in the immediate area, and also get a bit of a handle on the situation I found myself in tonight.
Yeah, sure. I'll go tell Masterson.
Okay.
Can I go and tell Masterson?
Yeah, you're welcome to. And at this point, you should also roll spot hidden, Dylan, because you'll have been looking for him for a second before we get to now.
Oh, okay. Now that is percentile, correct? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I rolled 73.
Oh my
So
god.
that's a failure.
Yes.
You're blind as hell.
You don't see him. You can't find him.
Okay.
And go ahead.
No, I was just gonna.
So I approach Mr. Masterson.
Wait, yeah, it's coming.
Hey, this might be a problem.
What is happening?
Well, by all accounts, Mr. Greeley seems to have left. At the very least, we can't find him.
Is there a chance he has left the party?
Maybe. Mr. Chase is gone to check outside.
Did anyone happen to hear possibly a car drive past?
This is central London.
Oh.
I mean,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Many.
Right now, too.
If you can't tell, we're all people that live in small towns where the most exciting thing that can happen at night is a car passing by.
There's also like you can probably hear like subway trains going underneath you. There's a subway station right, like basically right under the British Museum.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll go peek outside with Chase.
Yes.
But if we can't find him, we might have a problem.
Honestly, that does not seem much of a problem to me. It does. That just adds to the suspicion I have for him.
I guess, but if he's gone, we can't. I'm gonna go check outside. Hopefully, he's just. Outside.
Well, once again, the tasks that we were given was not to retrieve the book, but to narrow down who it was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. All right, just keep it in mind. Keep your eye out.
Yes.
I'm gonna go look outside, Mr. Chase.
Thank you.
All right. Who do we have left? Ethan, what are you up to?
I am talking to the author.
The author lady.
Yes.
All right, let's do that then. How do you approach her? Lucy Crawford.
crossword.
Sure.
Where is she? If I'm like, what is
she's-
just like sitting down somewhere.
The party is thinned out a little bit at this point. So like earlier in the night, she did have sort of like a crowd of people surrounding her. Lots of people like looking to get introductions and autographs and things like that. But it's getting later into the night at this point, and there's just fewer people around. Genuinely, it doesn't feel like it's like the end of the night yet. But like there's just a little bit less of a crowd happening, and she seems to be just talking to one or two people. She's not sitting. She's standing in a group of one or two or two or three people and just having a drink of wine.
Right. I guess I pop over and I excuse me, are you Lucy Crawford?
Ah, yes, I am. It's good to meet you. It's always good to meet a fan. Can I get you an autograph? Like, she's been doing this all night, and she's just, like, regurgitating the spiel.
You don't have to.
Oh, well then, what is it that you want?
Oh, I just wanted to ask you a few questions. I mean, I've been a fan of your work for a while. Especially my favorite group of short stories you have, Pranks of the Unknown.
Oh, Pranks of the Unknown, a classic. One of my early works, and I dare say a bit less highbrow, but
Yes.
great fun to read, I'm sure.
Yes. Doesn't compare to the Curse of the Pharaoh's Tomb.
The Curse of the Pharaoh's Tomb, as everyone knows, is my best work.
I wanted to know, where do you come up with the ideas for your stories?
Oh, well, of course I do a lot of research. There's so many tales of horror and fantasy and magic in the world coming not from authors, but from cultures and people and things that might have been thought of as histories at one point. And I do like to think that I take certain inspiration from those sorts of stories.
I see. Do you happen to have any particular fondness for I forget. Okay, out of character. I forget. Do we mention Idon is Greek, right?
Idon is Greek.
Yes.
Okay,
You know
cool.
that.
Okay, for any of Greek mythology, stories of any kind.
Well, of course, all of the classics that we all know. I like to think that I took certain inspiration for the protagonist in The Curse of the Pharaoh's Tomb from the myth of Prometheus, because, you know, a man who suffers so much from doing a good deed, it's sort of a classic symbol, isn't it?
True.
But I do like to think that all writers take some inspiration from Greek mythology, because it's so present in our world.
True. Have you ever taken a look at the works of the old Greek writer Idon?
Idon?
Yes.
Well, that's just not a name that a person hears very often. No, I have not read his works. I don't suppose anyone's read his works. I've read of him.
So I've heard of a copy of one of his works being in the area.
Really?
Yes.
Well, see, that surprises me, because so far as I know, he didn't exist. The story of Idon is one that you have to dig a little bit to find, but the story goes that he was a wizard, a mad wizard. And the things that he wrote were not stories, they were spells.
Yes.
Of course, I could go further into the story of his life if you're interested, but I wouldn't like to bore you with the details.
No. I found it quite interesting. I've taken to try to find as much about it as I can. Topic I've been trying to find more out about.
Well, I am curious where you first heard about it.
I was talking to Mr. Langley Do you know
Langley.
Mr. Langley?
I don't know Mr. Langley. Who's Mr. Langley?
Mr. Langley. He's an avid collector of many things. And
And he's
I was at
looking
a
for a copy of a book written by Idon.
Quick
I heard
continuity
he-
note.
Yeah.
If I may say, I remember at the end of my first encounter when I sent her over to Samuel just so that way he could get like maybe a bit of a read on Lucy Crawford.
I thought you decided not to do that because
because you're like, oh yeah, he would like bring this. Yeah, I'd be like,
all right, fine. I forgot that you did that weird pointless thing. That oh yes, I met him earlier tonight. What about him?
I was talking with him about a party at a party last Thursday. He was discussing things he had heard of a possible copy of the spells of Idon in the area, just sitting around in some collector's collection.
Well, I can't imagine who would have such a thing. And I don't think it's the sort of book that does much sitting around, you see, or at least so the story goes. Its owners don't tend to live very long.
Yes. It's interesting. Were you not at this party last time?
No, I just met Mr. Langley this evening.
Ah, fair enough. Yes. It's interesting. I do find it interesting, the whole mythos around these spells. I think it almost make a good basis for a story or two.
Well, perhaps. It's certainly something I've considered. It's perhaps why I know about it at all. But sometimes you come across things that are too macabre even for my reader's taste. And I suppose the story of Idon and what happened to him and what he created, well, that's one of those stories.
True. I don't know too much of the vague details. Do you mind filling me in on what the full story is? At least of what you know.
Well, he claimed, or the story claims that he claimed, to be in contact with gods, but not the gods of Olympus, mind you. He was very particular about this. He did not think that he was in contact with those gods. He called them older gods. And he believed that from these gods he could derive certain powers, but the story goes that he pushed too far in trying to contact these gods and in trying to gain these powers for himself, and he went mad, of course. But unfortunately, that's not the end of his story. After he went mad, he began trying to destroy the book that he had created. And the story goes that someone or something did not want this to happen. And he was in the streets of Athens, ripped into pieces by invisible animals. Or, so the story goes.
Yes. Interesting.
It is quite gruesome, you'll agree with me.
Yes. It's interesting to see the parallels of you might find within Greek literature. He almost had his own moment of Icarus flying too close to the sun.
Why, yes, I suppose that's exactly what he had. He was after a certain power, and his hubris was the end of him, and that's not an uncommon theme in any stories, really.
True.
So, is there anything else I can do for you? I'm afraid I do not have a copy of this book and do not know where you can get one, if that's what you're asking.
No,
Nor do I think that you should be pursuing it if one believes that it is real. I'm not a true believer, mind you, but I encounter enough stories in my research that, well, let's just say I'm inclined to be cautious around certain things.
fair enough. No, I was just wondering. And also, thought it would be nice to meet you. I'm a
Of course, and it's nice to meet you too. And it's nice to meet a fan who has so much insight on such an unusual subject. It's been good talking to you.
It's been good talking to you as well.
And
then
are you off?
Yes, I meander off.
Okay. So that's that conversation. Who's next? Sophie's next. All right, so you're going to talk to the colonel, he's just like still sitting in the same chair as he was before.
Yep.
How are you
He
approaching?
like, can't get up. My cane's over there.
I mean, he just like prefers not to move if at all avoidable.
Like, just fair enough.
So how are you approaching him?
I walk up to him and I'm like, "Hey, do you need help with anything?"
Another one? Who are you?
Oh no, I'm merely just mingling. I'm not trying to irritate you. If that's what you're
I
wondering.
see. Well, I've had some unfortunate encounters with Americans this evening, and you'll understand if I made the assumption that one of 4 strangers poorly dressed at this party who happens to speak with an American accent knew them. You don't speak with an American accent.
Yeah, no, my
Only
accent's Irish.
one of these 3 people spoke with an American accent. That was out of
Yes,
character.
well, I do know them, but I'm not necessarily interested in what they were interested when they were talking to you.
Well, then what are you interested in?
Oh, I'm just trying to get to know everybody.
There's a lot of people here.
Yes, but you seemed quite lonely.
Well, I suppose I appreciate the sentiment then. My name is... What is my name? Colonel Garrison Clay.
Garrison
Colonel
Clay,
Garrison.
yeah.
Colonel Garrison Clay. Nice to meet you.
I'm Elizabeth Murphy. Yep, I was right.
Ms. Murphy.
So how have you been to parties like these before? You don't seem like quite the party goer, if I may say.
I don't have much else to occupy my time with these days.
Yes, I understand. Do you know the host of the party, Mr. Langley?
It was my understanding that the host was a mystery. We do not know who's throwing this party, but I do not know any such Mr. Lang. Or shoot, I totally do know Mr. Langley. Yes, I do know Mr.
The dementia
Yes, I spent
sets in.
quite some time with him earlier, chatting.
And what do you think of him?
I think he's kind, a little overbearing at times.
He's
about
an
you?
odd man, you know. I knew him before I left for the war. Number of years ago now. And he used to be a very quiet man. Very private man. Didn't do this social thing much. I went to school with him, you see. That's how I knew him.
Where did you
And
go
I
to
was
school?
surprised. At the University of North Lancashire. In North Lancashire.
Mhm.
Go Bears. So, well, after I came back from the war and I had my recovery and I returned to seeing people, I was surprised to find that he had begun attending parties like this as well. And I thought, well, that's very out of character, the Samuel Langley I knew. And I was further surprised to hear that he had abandoned his law career, gone into some sort of scholarship. I'm not sure exactly what he does now, but he doesn't do the work that he did when I knew him.
And what was that?
Well, he was a lawyer. And, well, I don't know. It's just, perhaps this is me getting a tad mopey at the end of the night, but it's interesting how people change, isn't it? Especially when you're not looking.
Yes, I understand. It's interesting you say that because when I first met him, he seemed like a very social person, you know, a real party goer, and yet you say he was different You know
Yes, a
what
very
would have changed
quiet,
that?
isolated man. I was not here, unfortunately. I was
Yes.
in France and then in my sick bed. No, I haven't. I don't feel that I've properly known him in many years, and I do not feel qualified to discuss how he changed. But I know that he did.
Has he ever married?
Not to my knowledge. He was not the sort of man who spent a lot of time with women.
Yes, I see. Well, if there's anything that I can get you, don't be afraid to holler. I'll probably be around for the rest of the night.
Of course. Thank you very much, actually. It's been nice to talk to somebody who wasn't looking for something from me. Thank you.
And then I walk away.
Okay. All right, so what I'm going to tell you right now is that you guys currently have all of the information you need to solve this mystery.
Yes,
Okay,
I do
I
believe
think-
so.
Okay.
So let's reconvene. Let's reconvene.
Yeah, that's what's going on
Are we
here.
reconvening? Okay.
Okay.
Two.
Reconvene.
Oh wait, no. Mark Chase was going outside, right?
Yeah.
Mark
You were-
Chase
Mark
going
Chase-
outside?
Yeah,
it
but you
was.
were also going outside.
So is there something like you guys want to resolve out there, or?
He was just gonna look out there to see if the man had.
Mhm.
All right,
been-
go
Dr.
ahead.
Greeley.
Go ahead. And I guess spot hidden. It feels like a lot of time has passed at this point. But go ahead. Spot hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna
Okay.
give you 3 chances to spot hidden here.
I got a 19.
That's a success.
Yay.
I mean, let's see.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, it's a London street. There's cars driving by. There's like a little bakery across the road with some people sitting on chairs on the sidewalk. It's just like it's London.
For all of those who don't know, that was our first successful roll of the night.
No.
It's been-
Well, wait, of the night, yes.
Yes, of the night.
And our
How do you know
second,
how to give you accurate information?
second successful roll of the campaign.
That I can smell the fresh baked bread from the bakery like across the street really well.
Yeah, that's the general idea. Is that you just like you're eagle-eyed looking at nothing.
Okay. So let's reconvene.
Let's reconvene. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
Chase, was he
does
out there?
anybody have-
No.
No. Great.
There was. I saw a bakery
Did anybody
across
else
the
find
street with
anything
seemed
interesting
to have
while
delicious bread, but
talking to
nothing
anyone
else.
else?
Okay, Sophie, Enzo's talking. Just so you know, I know you can't
Oh,
hear.
wait, I still can't hear him. God damn.
I don't. It doesn't matter to me which one of you goes first, but you can't just like continue on at the same time.
All right.
This isn't
Okay,
Uncut
you
Gems.
talk, and then I'll relive.
All right.
No, I wasn't able to find him outside. So, I don't
Great.
know. Either he left without us noticing, or he might still be wandering around in the building, though I find that highly unlikely.
I do believe that none of us have really searched all that hard. Do any of us have more of a keen eye for spotting people?
He's got a pretty distinct outfit. I doubt we'd miss him.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't know to you all, but to me, he is the prime suspect.
Yeah, and I think his absence might prove that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, how was Miss Crawford?
Sorry, I was checking my character sheet for a second. She was good. She wasn't at the party last Thursday. We met Mr.
She
Langley tonight.
wasn't there?
does know of Idon and his story.
Well, if she wasn't at the party, then I guess. I mean, she could have been lying, but did she look like she was telling the truth?
Yes, from all I could tell.
All right.
Has anybody else grown a little confused about Mr. Langley's motives? I mean, from what people have said, Idon, the author, doesn't seem to be really even in existence. People are questioning whether Idon even existed in the first place, and if there even is a copy. So if there was, then how would Mr. Langdon get a hold of it, and why would he have it in the first place? And
Well,
I don't know what you
seems to be
people are like in
playing-
America, but business like this, we don't tend to ask questions.
I'm in a very specific
like we
field, and let's
should,
just
though.
say it's better to ask
He seems to think it's a
as
game.
few
A
questions
game
as
of
possible.
some sort. He said that would be giving away all the answers. If he was really desperate to find this book, then why would he keep certain things from us? Certain pieces of information that we would need to actually figure out who stole it. And why would it be so important for him to get it back?
Mrs. Byer, may you please go over again what you spoke about with who was it, Mrs. Crossford?
Crawford?
Crawford,
Yeah, Miss
yes.
Crossword.
Yes, I was talking to her about, well, first, Mr. Langley and the party. To which she said she had only met him just tonight and wasn't at the party.
Yes.
And then I started talking to her about the nature of Idon himself, of the fact he was a wizard that went insane.
A wizard, you
tried to-
say?
A wizard who just tried to destroy the book he had written after he had gone mad, trying to contact gods older than the Greek.
Now,
And
I
that,
have a-
in the end, he was torn apart in the streets of Athens by animals.
now, Mr. Idon was torn apart?
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, this is Call of Cthulhu, right?
Yeah.
Are there aspects of this game that are like supernatural? Because it's like about Cthulhu and stuff, but from here it's been okay. Right.
Yes.
I'd like to talk
Yes,
to Mr.
this
Langley,
game.
please.
Sophie.
Alright.
Sophie knew what game she was playing.
Glad we clarified.
Wait,
Okay.
wait. You guys said COC. I have to make Clash of Clans. I'm in the play.
No, alright.
I knew it was Call of Cthulhu. I just didn't know if it had like supernatural aspects in it.
Yes.
There will be. It will get more and more in that direction, but yes.
We have
Okay.
discussed this so many
Alright.
times. Okay.
All right, bet. All right.
So now, did she go into any more about Mr. Idon and what the stories are surrounding him? Were there
Surely
any?
that whoever seems to be in possession of the is not in possession of it for long. For rather deadly consequences on their own end.
Now that seems to include Mr. Idon himself, correct?
Exactly.
All right. That
Great. So it looks
That is
like we're
quite
chasing
interesting.
fairy tales.
I think we should regroup with Mr. Langley and share with him our thoughts.
If my memory serves correctly, I believe only Greeley has any sort of possibility.
yes.
Well, others of us might have.
Others may
other
know of it,
ideas.
may be aware of his of who he is and what he might have, but
Well, Crawford wasn't at the party.
Crawford wasn't.
Augustin, nothing was in his bag. The soldier, nothing was in his bag. Anna Baxter, not in her bag. And Mr. Cranston, according to you, he just had medicine.
Yes.
And given that Mr. Greeley is gone and did not seem too keen to discuss the book we're currently speaking, I think we have our man.
Quick
I think
question,
we
out
have to-
of character. Do we know of the napkin that was written for Dylan's character, saying he can be trusted as he is to Mr.
I don't think Dylan's character has told you about it.
Nope.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Okay.
Yes. So just so y'all are aware.
By the way,
Yes.
Oh my god.
Professor.
I do have I might say an in with Dr. Greeley now. If we do come into contact with him once again.
Oh, perfect. Well, once he makes himself visible, we'll go and show him your napkin. Anyway,
let's share our information first with Mr. Langley and see how he would like for us to continue. Now let's all make this clear before we leave. We are making a direct accusation, correct?
Yes.
I'd say so, yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. As long as we are.
have thoughts of my own
Oh.
that I will share with Mr. Langley.
Will you share with him beforehand, please?
Betraying the party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something isn't sitting right with me about Mr. Langley.
Mm-hmm.
I quite
Yeah,
frankly
us.
don't trust
Same with
him all
us.
the way. Yeah.
Now
do not believe.
I do have my questions about Mr. Langley himself, but I do believe it shall be important for us to discuss them later.
You people
Not
clearly haven't been in
directly
this
to him.
business. You people clearly haven't been in this business very long. You don't ask questions to the providers.
Yeah.
I believe that may be something that we speak about later if we so choose to have a continued partnership.
Listen, if this guy found all of our addresses, notified us that there was a party going on, and tells us that he has a job to do, that he has a job for us, I'd say we shut up, do the job, make sure we never see him again.
Mark Chase, that is the smartest thing you said all night.
What did he say?
Okay. Okay, let's
Are you deaf?
So, yes. So, to get the gist, let's approach Mr. Langley, speak to him only about Dr. Greeley, and see what he has to say on that end. Now, I have worries about us all approaching him at once, and I don't know if that will cause suspicion, but if you all feel like that is not an issue, then that's totally fine.
Haven't we already approached them all at once before?
But doing it multiple times in the same night may make others feel possibly uncomfortable talking to us.
I can do it. I know how to have these conversations.
You would like to speak with them?
Allow me.
Okay.
I walk up to Langdon.
Briefly, do you have my answer?
Yes, sir, I believe we do. I think your friend, Mr. Charles Greeley, is the one who has stolen your book.
And what is your evidence?
Well, the man has seemed very reluctant to talk about both the party, you, and the book in question. I also happened to get a peek in the bags of most of the other suspects and happen to see that they do not contain said book.
Well, how do you know that they would have the book on them?
I suppose they could have stashed it somewhere else, but...
All right, Mr. Eakley. You have, let's say, stumbled upon to the right answer. And while your evidence is a tad circumstantial for my tastes, I'm willing to say you've won.
We've won?
You've won. Mr. Greeley is a thief, yes, and a dealer in stolen goods first and foremost. He is a slimy, dishonest man who steals from his employer and his friends alike and resells them to such people as may be in the market for antiquity.
And you knew this?
Well, I knew some things about him. I suppose I didn't know precisely that he stole it, but I had a hunch.
Of course, I'll take your word for it.
Now, can I approach the conversation as I see it deepens?
Sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
Right. Yes. I casually walk up and stand beside Mr. Eakley, as to show I am wanting to be a part of the conversation.
Doctor, it seems we've got our man.
Excellent job, Doctor.
Quite does. After speaking to him, it seems there's a lot of fear and near instant suspicion that he has everything that we are searching for.
Well, then I'm glad to hear that the mystery solved. The matter of your reward, of course, each of you will be compensated with $25 American dollars. And, well, in return for this sum, which I believe is quite generous for the work that you did this evening, I would ask that you be prepared to hear from me again.
Yes.
And for those of you who do not live here, stay in town a while. And he gives you sort of like a wad of cash that you can go distribute amongst your friends, and each of you can mark on your character sheets that you now have 25 additional dollars.
American.
All right.
Yes, 25 American dollars.
Money.
We're just gonna ignore like trying to like have to change currency. Like I'm just gonna say all money is money, and you can spend money wherever you like. Okay.
Okay.
And so you're free to go on your way. You've solved the mystery. You've done what needs to be done. Are you guys like reconvening one more time? Well, you need to reconvene one more time to distribute the money. Is there anything you'd
I
like?
was gonna say,
That was the answer. It
Okay.
was Charles Greeley.
Wonderful.
You guys came to it by a very strange path, but you did get it.
Let's
Okay, let me share what my theory was that.
let's talk about the
Can
same
we talk about
character.
that?
I
Yeah,
have
in
to
character.
go on
Okay.
for the time being,
okay.
because there is
It's
this
so
is not the
funny,
end of
though.
the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
The end.
All right.
This
There
is
was
session
nothing about
1.
Cthulhu.
As you're sort of distributing this money, and at this point it's like getting really late at night. You can see that there's some stragglers left. And in fact, you can see that Langley is already on his way out of the building. But mostly people are like either gone or on their way to getting gone, and you guys are still here. So you're passing this money around. I'm gonna want all of you to make a spot hidden check.
All right.
Ooh.
I should probably pick up my dice again.
41. So I noticed nothing.
58. I also noticed nothing.
Give me a second. Need to pull up the dice thing.
94.
So what is a D100?
Deep percentile.
Or
Wow,
just
yeah.
just roll D100 if you're googling it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
All right. Now are you having negative consequences to extremely large rolls for this?
That's not a fumble, so no.
Okay.
94 is not a fumble.
What did you roll, Sophie?
What? Me?
Sophie.
Yeah, what did you?
Sophie.
Oh, Sophie.
Mhm.
95.
Okay.
How much?
95.
Oh my god.
5. Bad.
Should have drank that luck potion.
I have some better news.
Yes.
Okay.
I rolled a 22.
Is that a success?
That is a success. My number is 25. So.
Wonderful.
All right.
Nice.
So you spot. So again, this room is like, I don't know if you guys have ever been in this building. So if you're coming in from the outside, there's like a big round lobby sort of area in the center with a big spiral staircase at the center of that.
Mhm.
And then at like 9 and 3 and noon, there's galleries on the first floor, and those are all sort of like darkened and dim, and you're clearly like they've got those ropes. It's not like really blocked off, but it's like just an indication that hey, you're not supposed to be here. And then upstairs it's the same. You've got galleries on all three sides, and the staircase to get up there is sort of roped off in a gently reminding you not to go up their way. But you can see, Ethan, in the gallery directly across on the upper floor. So it is like above you and straight ahead.
Yeah.
You can see what you think looks like some kind of light shining deep down that hallway.
Hmm. Can we just rush it?
I mean,
You can.
let's discuss first because
Yeah, feel free to discuss this with your fellow.
So I look up and then I kind of go. Anyone else see that light?
And now that he points it out, you can all see it.
Okay, good.
Oh, whoa, that's crazy.
Wow.
A light, incredible. I'm heading back to the butcher shop. See you guys. Hopefully, never.
Damn.
All right, so Equally is just gone. Okay. Excellent, excellent.
So, what do you all feel we have accomplished here today? Now, we may be $25 richer, but we've also been asked to stay in town a bit longer.
Well, I don't know who that guy thinks he is, but I have
Well, at the
important
end, we can-
commitments.
Oh, those talking again.
Do you all plan to return home? Mr. Chase, you mentioned that you do. So, Miss Murphy?
In the end, if we're gonna be helping somebody, then I suppose it's all worth it.
Mrs. Byer?
Oh, I've got nowhere else to be. Though I might try to check out that light.
I do feel there's a lot more to this mystery that we have not unfolded. There must be more of a reason that us all have been contacted, including Mr. Eakley, who has left already.
Excellent character work, Sam.
Yes. So I do feel we should, if we do all stay in town, aside from Mr. Chase, we should regroup at some point and discuss our further suspicions of Mr. Langley here.
Listen, I did a job, and from what I know about these sort of things, doesn't really do you too much good to be lingering in one spot, and then I also leave.
I sit there a little dumbfounded. Anybody checking out the light?
We
The mysterious light that I pointed out.
I
from
do
beyond
feel
the
we should check
hallway?
out the light.
Maybe we should look at it.
All right, I guess we are done discussing, and we shall go check out the light.
Right.
Cal,
So
however,
it's like trivial for you guys to get past the barricade blocking from you getting upstairs, and there's clearly like no one official around here like watching for this sort of behavior, so you don't have like an issue getting up there at all. So are you just sort of like generally exploring here? Are you being some kind of cautious? Like what is your
I
vibe
like
moving
to
into this
imagine
hallway?
cautiously approaching the light.
Okay.
I feel I
Wherever
am
the light is coming from.
casually walking up while still continuing a conversation.
Okay. So you both reach this sort of like darkened gallery. And so this is just like a huge, long, rectangular room.
Okay, I believe
Sort
Miss
of-
Murphy is with us as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miss Murphy is also
you
there.
too, yo.
So the three of you reach this long room filled with just like glass display containers
hmm
on both sides. And as you enter this room, you can see these flickering lights much more clearly. And as you move towards the source of them, they start revealing some details about the room. One of these display cases is shattered. There's just like glass everywhere. And in sort of the middle of the floor, down what would be like the hallway of this room, or the walkway of this room, there is a man lying on his back, and he's surrounded by these candles. And as you slowly approach him, and you can see a little bit more detail of the scene, you can see that where his stomach should be, there's just sort of a gaping hole, and spread out
exactly
in a
what that-
circle around him are his entrails. So you can
wait.
picture this man laying sort of like spread-eagled on his back in the middle of the room. In one circle immediately around him are guts, and in another circle around that are candles. And lying open on his chest is a leather-bound book. And that's where we're going to end this session.
I was gonna say, is that where we're gonna end?
First of all, I hate you. Second of all, reminds me a lot of the whole Odon thing with the
Idon?
how
Idon.
he was Idon, whatever, how he was ripped apart by
Odon.
imaginary dogs. Is this man
Wow.
Mr. Greeley?
It's like
You
this all
can't
might
tell
be
from where you
connected,
are right
Sophie.
now.
Yeah.
We'll have to
I
find
bet
out
it is, bitch.
next time.
Yeah,
Next
no.
time.
I have a lot of
Culty
theories now.
stuff.
Wow, okay.
That was
I
the goal.
love this culty stuff.
What an ending, dude. Oh, shoot. I can't wait 2 weeks.
So good.
Oh, okay.
We'll resume in 2 weeks. I bet Murphy Eakley is regretting not having gone up there now.
I mean, Murphy Eakley's seen a lot of dead bodies, but probably not something like
That's
that.
true.
hmm
Oh, well,
Fine.
I don't know all of his backstory.
But they know where to find him, so.
That's true. They do know. They have his business card written
Mark
on
Chase
a
just
cloth
kind of went off
napkin.
somewhere. Who knows? Maybe he's getting baker.
I like to imagine that Mark Chase is going to get on a plane home tonight and no one is going to be able to stop him. It would be a boat home in 1922, but still. Like, he's just gone before anyone realizes there's more mystery.
I like to think that he left his potion of willpower at the museum. It goes to
I like to imagine that like, and we have to wait for months for him to come back from the US.
Stuff like that happens in this game because
Oh,
the speed of travel is so slow at the time period that this game takes place in. Like, sometimes just months passes in transit. It's great.
Just like I
Anywho.
get off the boat
Wow.
and I'm on America, and then all of a sudden the courier just runs up to me and he's like, "This letter is for you." I
He
read
was
it.
on the same boat as you the entire time.
Wait, what did he say? I still can't hear him.
He made
Oh.
a funny joke.
Hopefully that'll be fixed for
It's
next
like- it's
session.
like-
Okay, I'm glad I
It's
didn't
like the
hear
Skyrim couriers that are in places that they have really just no business being in at all.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right, so that's the session, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
That is finally the end of, I think, is
Sure.
going to be called Session 1, Part 2.
hmm
Yeah, that was
So,
session
session-
1.b.
Yes.
Ignoring the fact that the stream is called Session 2.
Ah, well, that's fine.
It's nice. We're getting into it.
Puzzle
Yeah,
wonderful.
1, Part 2, Session 2.
Oh, man.
So make sure you took notes on things that you found important in that session.
Yes, absolutely. And we all shall make sure that we rewatch at least key parts of this session.
Seems like a good plan.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll have fixed all of my issues with my editing software, and we will have a better quick little introduction and recap of both this session and last.
Good.
But
Hopefully
the
we'll
plot
have fixed
thickens.
all of our many technical difficulties.
Yes, we've had a few,
Yeah,
but
I'm hoping to iron out all my stuff
Mhm.
within like the 2 weeks, because I'm gonna buy some stuff so I can set this up on a computer that has much more power and RAM to do all this stuff at the same time.
wonderful.
All right. Well, I think a few of us have plans relatively soon, so
Yes.
we should probably be adjourning.
I don't know
That's
what
true.
he said,
He's-
man.
Sophie, just you can ask him later.
So you can, Sophie, just call me like right after the stream ends, and I can give you a reenactment.
Give the hot goss.
So it's been a good stream. Thank
Yes.
you for coming and watching, and good night and good luck.
Yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and especially we were hosted, I believe, throughout the stream. So if any of you are still watching over there, I'm sorry we have not been keeping up with that chat, but thank you all so much for joining us and watching us. It was very lovely to have you all. Next, if you follow or watch us again, we would love to see you all. Hopefully in a more streamlined environment.
And we'll be resuming 2 weeks, same time.
Yes, 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
Same Cthulhu time, same Cthulhu channel. As was
We're gonna
stated
be
last-
having videos posted on our YouTube channel from this, I believe.
Yeah.
So if you miss something, like if you happen to miss a session because of something going on, you can always just wait a while and it will appear on our YouTube channel for your convenience.
Yep. Also, the VODs will be posted as well.
Right. Yeah, we do have the video on demand on YouTube.
Yep.
Okay. So
Wonderful. Thank
that's
you all
that
so
then.
much.
Have
All
a
right.
good night.
Bye, friends. Let's play the little outro here that I made. There we go.
Out.
All right.
An outro.
Bye.